All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Defy Aging. This is Coach Allison, and now we are in week 34. All right. So this week will be a little different. We are doing a circuit on the turf. However, we're going to be going only 2 rounds, and there's going to be 10 stations. We more often are 6 to 8. So 10 stations, a lot of stuff, only 2 rounds. And the timing structure will be 40 seconds on, 30 seconds off. So a little backwards from last week, where we had the 30-40. Okay, we're also this is different. We're also going to be skipping a team builder this week, just because the demonstration and the workout itself will just be on the longer side with the 10 stations. So, whole different thing this week. All right, let's get to some demos of our 10 exercises. Okay, Station one is an alternating lateral step up. So we've done a couple versions of lateral step ups over the months, right? This one is going to be a little different. We're actually going to shift all the way from one side to the other. So I'm just using a small box. That's what I had. But of course, pick the height that's challenging for you. So if you can go higher, go higher. All the way up, all the way down to the other side, all the way up, all the way down to the other side. I definitely recommend looking down the whole time so that you know exactly where your feet are landing. We don't maybe miss the step. Also, step very wide when you're going onto the box, so you leave space for the second foot to come up. But yeah, side to side. If you're looking for more of a challenge, feel free to hold on to weights in each hand to add a little extra resistance there. And that is station one. Second station is a kneeling side to side slam with the medicine ball. Last week we had the kneeling bicep curls. So we're still doing that tall kneeling position. And the side to side slam is kind of the overhead, making a big arch from one slam to the next. So I'm going to slam it over here, and kind of arch overhead, slam it over here. So I want to iterate that. It's not like catching it on the bounce and like doing a shoulder press up and over. So try to kind of catch it and at the same time make an arch. So it's a little different. I hope you can see that difference. We're drawing like a rainbow over our head. And if we aren't doing kneeling, you're going to, just like last week with the curls, we're going to sit on the edge of a box or a bench, and we can do the exact same thing. So if you're curious, the function of that kneeling and or sitting versus simply standing like normal is it is more core work, because we have to engage the core a lot more to keep upright because our legs are not as involved to help us do so. Anyway, so that's our kneeling side to side slam. Okay, station 3 is a Superman variety. We're going to do swimming Superman. So it's kind of like the breaststroke if you're familiar with swimming, which I'm not familiar with swimming, but I know what the breaststroke is. So arms are out, legs are out. As we lift into our standard Superman, we're also going to sweep those arms back. Notice how I'm lifting my legs a little too. And then as you come down from the Superman, your arms drift forward. So the arm movement is very similar to what we do in our warm-up. We don't have to do that rotation where we flip the palm, but the arm is still going 180 degrees. So anyways, again, up, sweep back, chest down, arms forward. Chest up, sweep back, down, and forward. So it's a relatively slow movement, just because it's just a big, slow movement. So don't try to go for speed. Don't go flopping around like a fish. Now, if we aren't getting on the floor, incline bird dog is a great alternative, because it still kind of works that posterior chain, and we're getting that extension with the arm and the leg. So we'll stick with a incline bird dog for another option to stay off the floor for that one. Next up is a TRX one. It's going to be a TRX deep squat. So I've done these a couple times in the past, and I will forewarn that people really struggle with this. And yes, it is just a squat. So we've done a million squats. We know that. But the way we incorporate the TRX to help get a deep squat, people find challenging, because I'll show you, I will do my best to explain why. I can't get this in the right spot. Okay. All this is doing is allowing us to get a deeper squat than we maybe normally could, and still get back up. Because these are think of like having a shelf above you, and you're kind of using a shelf to pull you up. That's what these are doing. Now, the deep squats, of course, only do them if you have clearance to get that much flexion in your knees. If you have any kind of past knee surgery or anything like that, and they've told you not to do a full flex, then be cautious. But anyways, so here's the thing. We are not leaning and using the straps like this. So now you can tell I'm leaning so much that at the bottom, if I were to let go with both of the straps, there's no way I would stay upright. I would fall. So it's not what we're doing. We're doing a regular squat. Now, if I let go of these, I'm not tipping backwards. Shoot, I thought they'd swing back far enough. See, so I hope you understood that difference. Now, is it going to injure you or do anything terribly wrong if you lean back? No, it's not. But we want to do it proper. We want to keep that proper squat form, which is that slight forward lean, and we don't want to be tilting backwards. So now if your heels come off the floor like this, we need to try to make a change, shift those heels back down. These are here to help you pull yourself up a little bit. So it's allowing you to get a super deep squat, but giving you some assistance pulling you up. Make sure you're not relying on the TRX by leaning back and holding on to it for dear life. It's just a little support to get up. Okay, that might take some practice, but that is exercise 4. I forget which one we're on. That's the next one. Next one, we'll need just a little bit of space. We're going to do a tandem walk. So that is a balance challenge exercise, walking in that nice straight line. Okay, so your coach will have a little designated space set up. It shouldn't have to be too terribly long, so we can just turn around and go back. But anyways, turn to the side. Make sure you are actually connecting your heel to your toe, like so. We want to avoid putting some space between the heel and toe there. And I recommend gazing down with your eyes, but not like needing to look down the floor so much that you're leaning forward like this, because we always want that tall posture. Don't worry about speed. That's not the goal. If you are ready to look up and forward, that is a progression of this exercise. So if your balance feels good enough to look forward, that's great. That's a progression. All right, so that is our tandem walk. We're working some hand-eye coordination, agility, balance, footwork. Yeah, give it a try. Next up is a banded chest press. This can be a little tricky to get just kind of in and out of it, but we have the band tied up just like we did last week with the back row. But now we're going to grab it like this. Start with it back here. I don't have a great setup here because I have this foot thing on my shelf. So maybe your coach will have a better setup for you. But I definitely recommend a staggered stance. If we're standing with both feet together, it is way too tempting to just fully lean forward. Like if these were to break, I'm going down. But if you're like this, and if these were to break, I'm secure. So that's my recommendation. And then from here, we press, just like you had chest press on the floor with the dumbbells. Palms facing the floor. Try to be even on each side. They're going to be a little wobbly, but that's okay. And you want to make sure the band is anchored up high enough where it's just lightly grazing out your arm here. If the band's too low and it's digging into your arm, that's not comfortable. So just be cautious letting it go. All right, might want to have a couple of different resistance options there for the band, but that's a different kind of way to get the chest press, so we'll give that a try this week. Next one, I'm not even going to demo. It's going to be a battle rope variety. So I'm going to let your coach decide if they want to get creative and do something new with the battle rope, do standard up and down, maybe something different from round 1 to round 2, maybe something different if you come each day of different days of the week for Defy. So kind of coach's choice, but it's going to be a variety of battle rope things, and that will be the battle rope station. Okay, the next station, we're back onto the floor. It's a plank variety. So it's a plank rocker. So it's a standard elbow plank, or otherwise known as a low plank. So we want to check our form here, make sure hips are level, and then we use our feet to kind of push forward and then back to normal, back to neutral. Forward. Now, the farther forward you travel, it's tempting to let your torso sink down. So we don't want to do that. I'll show you what I mean. It's tempting right now to kind of go like this, but we want to avoid that and just keep that same height of our body the whole time. That comes down to some triceps, shoulders, and chest strength, keeping you up. Very simple transition, or a switch, I should say, if we are staying off the floor. We're going to do the same. No, for this version of a plank, there isn't a knee version. So if you typically are one who does planks on the floor with the knees, we have to make a different change here because that movement doesn't work the way it does when you have your feet on the floor. So we'll come up to an incline, and same thing. Use your feet to kind of push forward, then back to neutral. Same thing also, don't let your body sink down onto the box like this in the forward position. Got to really engage, again, those arms, shoulders, and chest muscles to keep the torso, keep the chest up. So adding a little twist to our planks, let's give it a try. All right, station 9, another one where we need kind of a little bit of space. This one might travel this to clear out space for our other stations. The coaches might set this one out up kind of off the turf a little bit. It's going to be a single arm farmer's carry. Might have to travel into the gym space a little bit. We'll do, since there's 2 rounds, we'll do 1 round, 1 arm. When you come around to round 2, switch arms. So we don't have to worry about switching in the middle. But anyway, yeah, pick up your weight safely, kind of level out your shoulders to avoid this this, and try to level it out, but also don't overcompensate and go like this, okay? And then we go for a nice controlled walk, really utilizing these muscles to keep everything level and to manage this weight. You're gonna feel your obliques kick in and your abs. Get to the end of the space, turn around, go back and forth for the duration of the set. Again, round 2, you'll switch arms. We'll do a kettlebell for this. It's bottom loaded, so you don't have to worry about balancing the front and back of the dumbbell. All right, that's our single arm farmer's carry. Okay, last but not least, station 10, the 2-point row. Haven't done this one for a little bit. You can use dumbbells or kettlebells for this, probably whatever you have the most, or whatever is easily, readily available. But this is the one where we are putting our body in the right position by leaning forward, supporting yourself on your thigh or your knee. We want this nice flat back. So you need a wide stance to get that back flat. If our stance is too narrow, it's really hard to flatten the back, and we kind of end up rounding like that. See that? So big wide stance, that helps you flatten your back. Grab your weight, and we pull that weight up with a little bit of a twist, very small twist in the torso. Pull the weight up towards your hip or towards like your lower rib cage. Make sure it's not coming up to the armpit or anything like that. So same thing as the farmer's carry. Round 1, we'll do one side. Round 2, we'll do the other side. So remember which sides you started with. All right, that is our final station, number 10. All right, everybody, that is it. Like I said, we're skipping a team builder this week just because the longer than normal routine. So 10 exercises, it might be a little overwhelming, both with the physical aspect of it, but it's kind of a lot to remember and observe and absorb and take in. So it'll be a challenge in those facets this week too. So anyways, I hope you enjoy it. See you back for week 35. We'll be back to a team builder at that time. And yeah, have a good workout.